Hey everyone, so I wanted to do a video on the new Step Up banner, even though it's probably the worst idea possibly in the game right now, now to summon on. Pretty much the worst thing you can do for your account. You have 10 days as well as, 10 days for everything else, so it does line up with everything. You have a total of 3 characters all in the premium summons pool except for young Will here in the middle. This guy should have been in the pool, but he hasn't been added yet. It's kind of weird, champ, whatever. I have tickets here for the premium pool. I'm gonna start saving. I thought I'd say it in this video, why not? But I'm gonna be saving for whenever they update the pool again. Hopefully it's during the half anniversary, which is during like March or something. If I remember correctly, I was looking through memories and I saw some of the half anniversary stuff released during that time. So I think that's around when half annie is. I could be wrong. So hopefully they do update the pool, as well as we do have tickets for this. If you're playing the new subjugation event, or you saw my subjugation event video, you saw that we have, obviously tickets for this. I believe it's 2 multis because it looks like a lot of tickets too much for 1 multi, so I'm pretty sure it's 2. I haven't taken a look specifically. It could be 3 even, but yeah, it is what it is. It's basically a glorified premium banner. Premium banner being basically the basic banner that's it there every day, and it doesn't leave all the way at the bottom of the shop. It just depends on what kind of game you're playing and what you want to call it. But yeah, so you have Ryan, Will, and Elsa, as well as their respective memories. I'd say out of everything you can get out of the 6 with the memories and the characters included, this memory is probably the most valuable, applying damage over time on every hit. But other than that, it's just the normal banner. You can get all these characters from normal tickets besides the young Will. It's not worth it. Either way, though, we are going to be going through every character. Just, if you want to do it for whatever reason, I'm going to give you the information to do it. Again, we do have multiple rotations. So this is the first rotation. These first 3 steps, you get guaranteed 2-star, guaranteed 2-star. Basically, essentially, normal multis here. Then on the third one, we have a guaranteed 1 out of the 3 featured characters, so you're guaranteed to get Ryan, Will, or Elsa. So that's pretty interesting. But again, these characters are really low, so you get a total of, I believe, 5 rotations. And yeah, so we're gonna switch on over to the wiki, and we're gonna be going over these characters. Elsa being a purple physical unit, she used to be, I believe, she used to have another tag, but for anime spoilers, she's a vampire and we don't have a tag for them in the game. I believe she was human before her race, then they took it off because they might add a vampire tag. I don't know if we get any more vampires down the line in the series, but we'll have to wait and see. I think that's pretty fucking sick to just randomly throw in vampires in the series. I think that's dope as fuck. Hopefully we can expand upon that in the story. Either way, enough of the detour. Skill 1, physically attacks a single enemy at 400% power and give attack buff to self for 2 turns. That's fine. Back in the day, she was an okay DPS unit. It's just the main drawback is when she would give herself buffs. She gives herself some really incredible buffs for the time that she released. It's just the fact that you have to use her in order to get those buffs, and you can't just like use the buffs beforehand. Like, yeah, we had some buffers and some support back then. It's just that like they weren't as prominent, so like you weren't likely to have these buffs on before you would attack. So the fact that you apply the buffs after you attack is just really silly. Like, you obviously want this before you do this, so then you're just wasting a turn. It is what it is. It was a whole debacle. Then she has a passive: when you land a critical hit, recovers 50% of your maximum HP, which is actually pretty nice. Cancels 1 debuff. That's okay. And reduces self cooldowns for 2 turns. Holy shit. But you do have to land the crit, so this is really nice, but it doesn't proc too often. Also, at the end of the turn, there's a 10% chance you will get another turn. Does not stack, so that was pretty cool at the time. She was really gimmicky, but she's fun, and I really enjoyed her because obviously I was an Elsa simp. I still am. It is what it is, but she is definitely dated. I still use her from time to time just because I love her. Then we have physically attacks a single enemy with 1200% power, 100% chance of reducing action engage of the enemy by 50%. Pretty solid. Gives self crit rate for 2 turns. It's super basic. Characters can do literally all of this in a single skill nowadays, so it's pretty worthless. She bonus skills: HP, agility, crit damage. That's cool. She's an HP lead for whatever reason. She has okay attack, pretty pathetic, and crit rate's 50%. I think that's standard, so it is what it is. Overall, she is very dated, but very beloved in my heart. Then we have Rhine. New Year's Rhine being probably one of the more usable out of the three, the most usable, mainly because he can ignore defense just because he's a Rhine character, so he's always going to have that slight advantage, as well as him being a AoE unit. I've seen a lot of people use him way back in the day too, and just like even now more so, or not more so, but like more or less. Like I've still seen him in some teams, and I've never been able to make this character work. You know, I put hammers on him, he just never does damage for me, and I don't know what the big fuss was about back in the day before this guy, but he just never clicked for me. Physically attacks a single enemy at 400% power, 100% chance of inflicting recovery seal for 2 turns, and recovers 10% of maximum HP. That's a mouthful, but pretty neat. Passive at the start of turn removes all debuffs, has a 20% chance to reduce self cooldowns by 1 turn, and it has a 20% chance at the end of turn to give invincibility of self. That's pretty interesting. He removes all debuffs, so that's just okay. Yeah, that's a thing. And it has 20% chance to reduce self cooldowns by 1 turn. That's neat, but we have a lot of cooldown reduction nowadays, so it's not needed. Then we have invincibility. That's like a given on almost any team. Like units just apply that on the team nowadays. Then we have starts 4 turn cooldown, starts off at 4 turns. That's really annoying. That's really bad. Physically attacks all enemies with 250% power. Ignoring defense has a 50% chance of dealing 3 damage over times for 2 turns. I don't know if it's 50 for all 3 or 50 just for each one individually. I would imagine the latter, but what I was gonna say we have to wait and see, but he's already out. He's been out for a while. Either way, it's kind of whatever. He has a night and a New Year's tag, pretty interesting. He's a Felt Camp, so he's actually pretty useful there because Felt Camp has like 2 units, basically. So using him for Felt Camp related missions can be kind of useful. Then we have his crit rate up, debuff success rate up, attack up, increase all yellow allies attack by 30%. If you have the festival version of this character, this is obsolete. Overall, he's not that bad. You know, his attack's pretty solid. He has some usability with the teams. He's probably the better of the 3. Then we have Young Will, cooldown. No cooldown, physically attacks a single enemy twice with 200% power each hit, and has a 50% chance to give itself attack up and speed up to self. Oh, did they just repeat themselves? I know. 2 turns, and then recovers 5% of maximum HP. Wow, that's pretty solid basic. Then we have a skill 2, actually no passive. Physically attacks a single enemy with 600% power, has a 100% chance of inflicting recovery seal for 2 turns, and increases the action gauge of all allies by 30%. That's pretty useful. If you ever want to run him on a mono blue team for like all out war or something, that's pretty neat. Definitely throw him on there. Physically attacks all enemies 5 times with 140% power each, and has a 100% chance to inflict defense down, and recovery seal on 2 turns on each hit. Defense down, again, applying on every hit, so that's pretty neat. You know, it's not going to stack or anything, but you have that chance. So this guy's definitely solid for all-out war events, but I think he's kind of fallen off over time just because there's so many great options. But I definitely see why he was on a lot of teams back in the day. Then we have defense 10%, debuff success rate 20%, that's nice. Attack 30%, leader skill, all allies attack 30%. Need a leader skill if you need one of these. They're pretty common though. Solid attack, that's kind of really all you want to look at with these characters because it's not like they're going to be doing much nowadays. Human, physical. He came out on my birthday. That's pretty interesting. I thought he came out after Elsa. I guess not. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, that's going to do it. Overall, just don't summon, but if you are, you know, that's what they do. Again, you'll probably see these characters, you know, a lot in your summons. Will probably coming soon. I would imagine the next update they do to the general pool, he's gonna be in it. Oh yeah, they did add these 2, huh? Later on, or were they in the initial general pool update? I don't remember. It's been a while. My memory's pretty dog shit. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, but yeah. Again, don't summon, and I'll see you guys next time.